Business confidence skyrockets. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at the latest NAB business confidence data that just came out yesterday. And it has gone up, it has increased. Let's jump in, and I have updated my chart, and I'll bring it right here. You can see that big fall we had just earlier in the year, and we've almost recovered, everyone. Business confidence is back. What do you reckon? Do you believe it? Or are you a bit surprised? Let us know in the comments, guys. And let us know your industry too, if you don't agree with it, which sector you're in. So, the NAB Monthly Business Survey for October 2020. Victoria sees a rebound. The Victorian's back. Business confidence rose to its highest level since mid-2019, led by a large gain in Victoria. This was likely driven by the fall in COVID-19 cases and looming end of lockdown in Melbourne. By industry, recreation and personal services and construction saw notable increases. However, while the improvement in confidence is encouraging, the results across other survey variables and regions were mixed. While Victoria saw a significant improvement in conditions, there were notable declines in South Australia, Queensland and WA. Trading conditions and profitability drove the marginal improvement in conditions, but the employment index remained weak at -5 points, suggesting the labour market is lagging the recovery in activity. Forward orders and capacity utilisation improved in the month, but the former remains negative and the latter is still below pre-COVID levels. Nonetheless, the survey continues to show that the economy has rebounded from the sharp fall in activity in H1 2020 and will likely continue to recover as the economy reopens. However, it will likely take some time for activity to fully recover, with capacity utilization restored and the pipeline of work replenished. The improvement in confidence is encouraging but remains fragile, and it will likely remain that way until a vaccine is available. And that could take a couple of years, everyone, even with the latest news of success. In the interim, confidence will be an all-important factor for how quickly businesses expand employment and capex as demand normalizes. And I mean, we already have the Reserve Bank trying to push more and more business borrowing, encouraging the banks to lend to businesses. But you'd have to be pretty bloody confident, and I guess people are, to take on staff and to invest in your business, even if it's still cheap. You know, I think there'll be a bit of a delay before we start seeing that really materialize. Or maybe I just so enjoy not having any business loans anymore. You know, there's my bias there, guys. Paid off the scanner. Fantastic. That was our last loan. So, how confident are businesses? Confidence rose 9 points to +5 index points, the highest level since mid-2019. How did business conditions fare? Conditions edged 1 point higher in the month and are now in positive territory at +1 index points. What components contributed to the result? The gain in conditions was led by further improvements in the trading and profitability subcomponent. The employment index rose slightly, but has lagged the improvement in other activity indicators and is still negative at -5 points. What is the survey signaling for job growth? At face value, the employment index continues to suggest job shedding, with more firms reporting lower employment relative to the previous month. This is the thing, everyone. We're entering a recession. Damage has been done to the economy. It's going to take years before our vacancy rates peak, our unemployment rate peaks. You know, and it may be up and down. I'm worried we're seeing a V-shaped economy even exacerbate with the way that the money is just being pumped into property. The class divide is going to grow in Australia. Which industries are driving conditions? Conditions rose notably in wholesale and transport and utilities, while the services industries also saw gains. Elsewhere, conditions edged higher in retail, but were slightly lower in mining and manufacturing, while construction saw a large fall and is the weakest of all industries in both trend and SA terms. Which industries are the most confident? Confidence, led by gains in recreation and personal services and construction, saw an improvement in most industries. Mining and transport and utilities were the exception, edging lower in the month. Where are we seeing the best conditions by state? Conditions rose sharply in Victoria. We also saw improvements in New South Wales, Tasmania, WA, SA and Queensland saw conditions soften for the month. Despite the large improvement in the month, Victoria remains weakest of all states, both in trend and SA terms. Overall, in trend terms, conditions remained favourable in Tasmania and WA. What is confidence like across the states? Confidence improved in the eastern states, led by gains in Victoria, but declined across WA, Tasmania and SA. In trend terms, confidence remained most favourable in the west and weakest in Victoria. Are leading indicators suggesting further improvement? Forward orders saw a small improvement in the month, but remain in negative territory. Encouragingly, capacity utilisation continued to recover, but remains well below its pre-COVID and long-run averages. What does the survey suggest about inflation and wages? Final products prices continue to decline in the month, though at a slightly lower rate. Retail inflation softened, though labour costs and purchase costs growth picked up. And, well, are they picking up the fact that shipping import costs are increasing? So we can see here, October, we're at 79.9. So it's slightly crept up from the last one in capacity utilization. We're at business confidence, 5, conditions, 1, trading, 8, profitability, 4, employment, -5. It's getting better, but still it's bad. Forward orders, getting better again, but still in negative. Stock, 1, getting better, but still in negative. And exports, still at -4. So, theme of the month. State and industry developments. The recovery in business conditions has been uneven across states. The smaller states have generally seen a stronger recovery in conditions than Victoria and New South Wales. However, October saw a small reversal in this trend, with Victoria and New South Wales seeing significant gains, while the remaining states pulled back. Okay, so we can see that here. Where is it? Victoria, still, business conditions still pretty low compared to the others. I guess they've improved. Across states and industries, the recovery in conditions has been driven by the trading and profitability sub-indexes. The employment index has also rebounded, but has lagged the improvement in other components and remains in negative territory across all states except WA. Here's the employment index. Capacity utilization continued to recover in aggregate, with all states and most industries now notably above their April levels. Nonetheless, it remains well below its long-running average of 81%. Victoria saw an improvement in capacity utilization in the month after remaining weak in previous months, but it remains well below its pre-COVID levels. Capacity utilization has also improved in Queensland and Tasmania, but was softer in New South Wales, WA and SA. Forward orders saw an improvement across all states in October, but remains negative in all regions except for WA. Victoria led gains in the month, but remains weakest given the delayed recovery in the state. The pandemic had significant impacts on almost all parts of the economy. The impact of containment efforts ranging from social distancing requirements to full lockdowns has seen large and significant disruptions to activity. This has been particularly evident in travel, hospitality and health services. While harder to identify, the impact of confidence and uncertainty will also impact spending on by both households and businesses. For households, these concerns likely relate to labour market developments as well as expectations from income growth. Are there any expectations for income growth anymore? For businesses, investment and hiring intentions are likely to have been dampened by uncertainty over future disruptions to activities as well as consumer demand for their output. While the pandemic has no doubt been a very negative shock to the economy, there have also been some surprising outcomes. Consumer spending on goods has risen, which has seen the retail industry go from being the worst performer in the survey to the best. This is largely a reflection of massive government support to household incomes. Government's throwing money. Government's propping up the economy, everyone. NAB Economics' view is that the RBA will keep interest rates on hold at 0.1% for an extended period. While this will certainly support the recovery, fiscal policy will be much more important in stimulating demand, and we think the government will do more on top of the large amount that it has already done. Do you think they'll extend Home Builder next year, everyone? What other interventions can you think of? Will they start doing, cash for clunkers and all these other stupid ideas that have been tried and failed? We can see business confidence heading up. Business conditions, it's slightly up, seasonally adjusted in the trend. Components of business conditions, net balance SA, trading, profitability, and employment. Employment still low, still negative. Everything else is positive. What do we have here? Business conditions by industry, construction. There's conditions and confidence. So conditions are down in construction, but confidence is up. Rec and personal both are down. Mining both are down. Manufacturing both are down. Transport utilities is down and up. Financial, prop, and businesses are down. Wholesale is up. Retail is up. Very high. Business conditions. Confidence is down. So, we're seeing an increase in business confidence. So it's definitely increased significantly. But it's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? It definitely is a mixed bag. What do we have? Forward orders are up, but still in negative. Capital expenditure is, they're kind of looking okay. It's more positive in general in the market. And I will link to this if you'd like to go through it on your own, everyone. So there we have it. Business confidence has increased. Business conditions, a little bit all over the place. Depends on what industry you're in, depends on what sector you're in. Victoria is leading the charge. What do you think, everyone? Are you surprised by the increase in business confidence, or are we just seeing the impact of the improvements in Victoria start to filter through? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using any of our affiliate links below. You can use Amazon or eBay. You can use Independent Reserve or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from Teespring or the HeiseSays blog. You can see the lovely pocket squares right behind me that Rachel made. You can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint or from support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.